This is the Carty Method Podcast.
Well, hello there. Welcome to another episode of the Carty Method Podcast. It is me, Carty, and today, Portfolio Lab. It's Portfolio Lab today. It is Thursday, and this week I gave you a very, very specific assignment. That assignment was, and is, your perfect client on Spec. The goal is for you to pick your ideal client and shoot something for them on Spec. This is how you figure out who pays for your photography. This is literally how you get them to pay you and how you get your ideal client like in front of you. This is literally by shooting work specifically for them, even if they're not asking you to. I want you to be looking at, and again, this is what we're looking at today. I asked you to look at examples of successful campaigns on Behance, on brand websites, or in print like billboards, magazines, and use intelligent imitation. Now, with this assignment, it's important to be original. I'm not trying to get you to copy something. I want you to include the brand's product or show your ideal client an example of the outcome that they would get if they used you. And of course, I want you to give me 2 sentences describing the brand that you're creating this spec shot for, and include a reference to the brand or campaign that you've drawn inspiration from, so I have context. So the whole goal with today's assignment is pre-production. You're supposed to research your chosen brand's visual identity so you can get an idea as to what they've done with their past campaigns. I want you to have a clear objective as far as this spec image that you're about to share with me. And you were to plan shots that demonstrated your unique perspective while also respecting brand guidelines. Now, when you execute this image that you're sharing with me today, there should be space for copy placement. You know, like all of our images are usually, if they're ads, they're going to have text of some sort over top of it. And the goal is to maintain a professional quality that matches existing campaign standards from the brand that you've selected. The key to success today in this assignment lies in creating images that not only showcase your technical and creative abilities, but also demonstrate a deep understanding of your chosen brand's marketing needs and visual language. And your orientation, whether it was horizontal or vertical. Horizontal or vertical. Whether it was horizontal or vertical depends on your reference. It could be either. So you should know right now, this is a public stream. You should know it's no longer, I've shifted my strategy from members only. Again, I tested that for a few weeks, and the goal is more people need to see my content, and more people need to see my live content, because my live streams are dope. And limiting my live streams to members only, I'm missing a lot of people who could be watching me live. So I'm going back to making my live shows public. And again, it's because I want to serve more people. I want to serve the most amount of people possible. But know this, I'm going to be making exclusive members only content monthly. So you'll have to be like, this is members only, will stay members only, will never be public. So, and we're going to be doing one of those today, which is our Portfolio Lab workshop. If you're in Portfolio Lab, I do a workshop every Thursday. You get to hang out with me on Zoom. We hang out. You can join Portfolio Lab right here. But the workshop that I do on Thursdays is super dope. We're doing it today after this episode, like 15 minutes or so after. And that I will stream live. That stream will be just for members. You guys, like, I really wish you were in that Zoom. Like, I want you to be in that Zoom. All you need to do is be in my mentorship community from days gone by. If you're in my mentorship community, you can access that link. If you are in my YouTube submissions from days gone by, you will also be able to access that link. And if you are in the new and improved Portfolio Lab, you get to access that link. Ask anybody in chat who hangs out with me on Zoom on Thursdays for this workshop how good it is. Definitely do so. So, YouTube submissions. Let's get into Portfolio Lab. So we are starting with our first photographer. His name is C. Turner. Thanks. You're finally submitting. Hey, Carty and crew. C. Turner says, first time submitting. Looking forward to your constructive criticism. I'm glitching. For this week's submission, our ideal client... For this week's submission of our ideal client, I chose to do my interpretation of a Jeep ad. I chose this brand because I enjoy making automotive photos while I also enjoy capturing unique landscapes. What a better company to shoot for than Jeep. Shot this at the Jeep and truck rally event I was hired for this past weekend. Good shit. Chris, really niche into products on a landscape. Cars on a landscape, outdoor adventure. The landscape photography isn't a thing. You need to add something to it. No one's going to hire you to shoot pretty landscapes. Put a truck in that landscape, so Jeep hires you, so GMC hires you, so Tesla hires you. Learn how to shoot products. That brings real value. You're not bringing any value to anybody with landscape photography, except people who choose to look at places they've never been. All right, this is Mr. Chris Turner, or C. Turner. Shot with the Z7, I'm assuming your name. Please tell me what your name is. Calling you C is tripping me out. First name, last name, photographer. First name, last name, photographer. So tell us what the C stands for, yes. Okay, shot on Z7 with a 35mm 1.8, ISO 320, f2, 1/25th of a second. Not 1/25th of a second, but a 25th of a second. And he's shown me his inspiration image from Jeep, posted from Jeep. This is C. Turner. Let's go. This is a great catch. This is a great capture, Mr. Turner. This is a great capture. I like this a lot. It's very strong. It's a little off balanced with that tree. I know that you're trying to include that tree. It makes the truck a little off-centered. I mean, obviously you can see the centering here versus the centering here. Makes the truck feel a little off-center. Let's look at this as a cover. Oops, show me a cover, please. There you go. Yes, the cover, really strong composition. I'm noticing that you're dropping the Jeep like right in the middle of your frame, like you dropped your horizon line. My words aren't working. You dropped your horizon line right in the center, which is like really the most simple composition. I would prefer that you push this horizon line down here. You'll still see snow. You'll still know that he's on snow, but it's going to give you that big sky. Also, you're going to see a little bit more of the Jeep. I would love for you to get elevated on something so we can see a little bit more of the top of the Jeep. There's definitely something here though, Chris. This is a yes for me. I want to just look at the focus. Let's just look at this a little bit closer. Really good focus. Obviously, you're getting some hot highlights on the car here. Because it's a white truck, you'll notice white is a car color that they don't usually, I mean, my truck's white, but they don't usually pick a white truck to shoot because of the highlights, because white highlights blow out. So they usually pick a different color of truck to shoot, like gray, like red, like black. And you'll notice you'll rarely see white trucks I mean, it happens sometimes, but you don't see it that often because of how hard it is to deal with the highlights. And that highlight is right smack dab on the Rubicon logo. So again, something for you to watch. Overall, this is a really good effort. So I'm giving you an 11 on your first submission for this spec ad for Jeep. And if I show y'all the picture that Jeep posted 7 weeks ago, Chris, yours is better. Like, yours is a little bit more lofty, although, you know, it's on a nice mountainous background. But also the horizon line on this user generated Jeep photo is also quite 50-50. It's also quite 50-50 with the horizon line. But you are onto something. I think you did a great job. You should be happy. Great job. It's C. Turner. C. Turner Photos. This is Christina Nicole. Christina says, my submission this week includes 2 models, of which is the designer of an eyewear company based in Queens. We shot this outdoor using 1 strobe, and my inspo was taken on the lifestyle brand Diff Eyewear. My goal was to capture the essence of the designer's brand, which is edgy, street, and eclectic, while simultaneously shooting a spec, evoking lifestyle feel that aligns with the Diff Eyewear brand. R6, ISO 400, 5.6 at 1/250th of a second. She sent me the reference from Diff Eyewear, although not a specific, but let's have a look at Christina Nicole. Christina, thanks for submitting. So I feel like the 2 people in this shot, they're crowded. They're crowded, and I feel like both of them are so much of a character in their own right that you have me fighting between looking at this face and looking at this face. And I'm going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And then I'm seeing just this mass of fur and this mass of like fake fur on both of them, and how close he is to the edge and how close she is to the, it's because based on the closeness that you need, you can't get both of these people in without being a horizontal picture. Like, without it being a horizontal picture, because you're not seeing enough of the brand. You're not seeing enough of the brand. Now, I'm going to show you this if it was a horizontal picture. Now, this as a horizontal picture and seeing this way, well, now it makes, I see the glasses and I see left page, right page a little bit more. You see what I'm saying? I see left page, right page a little bit more, and it's punched in close enough for me to see these glasses. So in my professional opinion, you should have shot these as individuals. You should have shot one at a time and not tried to put them together. This background is distracting. The big hair and the dark glasses is we're losing the glasses in the blackness of her hair. I would have chose a contrasting color of frames like white to go against black skin with black hair, or you have to punch in and really shoot eyewear. This is a half body shot of 2 people, and it should be closer to headshots of both. Now let's look at your reference. Individual person punched in, individual person punched in, individual. So where are the group shots of 2 people in one picture? Where are those? Where are the very distracting backgrounds? This is a very neutral background. This video clips are all very neutral, complementary backgrounds. And you see how the sunglasses contrast to the skin tone and the hair. So white glasses, dark hair. So these are the things that you have to watch. Also, contrasting sunglasses, red sunglasses, white people. So what you're showing me is not, and I know that this is Diff Eyewear and this is an independent brand from Queens, got it. But if you're using intelligent imitation, you actually have to use intelligent imitation. There was no examples of two people in one photo, none from your Diff Eyewear, but you have two people in one photo. That kills it. That right there, there's a reason that when you're shooting eyewear, it's not two people, because you have to get in close and you can't do a group shot, get glasses, try to be a fashion photo, try to be like a cool look. Like, there's too many elements in this same photo for me. There's too many elements in this one photo, Christina. And the thing that hits like the worst is the two people. And second, the styling. The styling is obnoxious. The hot pink and the tiger stripes and then the faux fur. It's all too much. It's like you want them to see the glasses, not his fashion choices. So again, look at the understated clothes so you notice the glasses. Understated clothes so you notice the glasses, and understated outfit so you notice the glasses. Understated clothes so you notice the glasses. Like, understated clothes so you notice the glasses. Like, you're missing the key elements in intelligent imitation. Like, you use this reference, but this reference is the thing that's biting you on the ass. Like, show me this, like the styling. This styling, I hate to be so dry, but it's obnoxious. It's obnoxious. And if she is also the designer that is doing the clothing and the glasses, then you're trying to include too many pieces in one shot. Find me a person who is wearing Gucci glasses, Gucci jacket, Gucci bag, Gucci pants, Gucci shoes, and walking down the street. Nobody does that. They wear a piece and they mix pieces. They're not wearing brand head to toe, but both of these people are wearing brand head to toe. The glasses, the jacket, the under, the blah, blah, blah. So it ends up looking gaudy, you know what I mean? And overstyled and tacky. So shoot just the faux furs, take the glasses off, shoot it in a non-distracting location so you're seeing the faux fur. Take the faux fur, take this like with this scarf thing off, so it's just a block of pink and it's not like, there's just too many patterns. Part of being an editorial photographer is understanding styling, and part of styling is understanding overstyling. And overstyling sometimes is too much. Christina, great effort, but I think we missed the brief on intelligent imitation and shooting on Spec. You were actually shooting for this brand. You were actually shooting for her. You weren't shooting Spec for her. You were shooting for her. So shooting Spec for this brand, it means you need to be shooting more like sleek, not quite as like ornamented glasses. This is very specific to this one brand, and it's kind of gaudy. And I'm not trying to like diss the designer, but it's very over ornamented. It's very and that's not really on trend right now if you look at what's happening with other glasses companies. I hope that brings you value. That was Christina Nicole. I mean, I'm not trying to be a social commentator on fashion and what's in and what's not, but it's like, you have to look like, there's small brands that are trying to do stuff at street level, which is super cool. And then there's super high-end brands that are doing stuff at a global level. Like, I'm trying to imitate those brands. This is a photo shoot for your local brand, which I totally understand. My advice is one person at a time and less items in the photo. Because again, nobody wears head to toe. head to toe, unless it's like Adidas hat, Adidas tracksuit, Adidas shoes. Sure, there was a time for that. You know what I mean? But as far as modern, you're not seeing Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada jacket, Prada bag, Prada pants, Prada shoes. You're just not seeing that. Like, people would laugh at that person because they're being tacky. I hope that helps you. All right. Let's get into our next shooter. Hey, C. Turner. It's Courtney. Just change your name to Courtney Turner. Just boom. Change it on YouTube. Courtney Turner. Thank you for super chatting, Courtney. I appreciate you. Courtney gets a little smoke for the super chat. Thank you, Courtney. Appreciate you. Get a little bit of a light show there. Yeah, I just like to know the names that I'm talking to. And X-Ray, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you. X-Ray Podcast. Shout out to X-Ray Podcast. Let's get it on. Thanks for hanging out with us. Why is my things not popping up? I fixed that. I fixed that. I know that I did. I know that I did. But let me just try again here. Let me take that. Screen's gonna go black for 1 instant. Stand by. And we're back. There we go. There we go. All right, let's get into our next shooter. This is Ian Martin. Ian says, hey, Carty, I can't find the exact campaign I'm thinking of, but my on-spec is for the classic division of automotive OEMs. And in this instance, Lamborghini. And in this instance, Lamborghini. This full set of shots include prior submission in an urban setting, freeway photos, and several scenic off-road photos. I have another double page of static and has more room for text, but this one brings emotion that's authentic to the Lamborghini brand. Z8 with a 50mm 1.4, ISO 64, 1/25 of a second, f7. And, oh my God, I love this Lambo. I've been watching this guy on YouTube. His name is Mark McCann, and he has this car. Oh, no, not this one. No, I've never seen this one before in my life. I've never seen this one before in my life. Lambo made like... oh, my God. Lamborghini's going back to making tractors. Are you kidding me, Ian Martin? You got access to this car? I'm about to lose my mind. This is Ian Martin. Ian, thanks for submitting. Ian, this is pretty crazy. This is pretty crazy. For me, like, seeing this off-road picture, like, you're definitely getting the movement. We're definitely getting the vibe. But when it comes to actual brand and brand identity and the level of photography, A, that I expect from you, and 2, that Lamborghini is going to expect, let's look at this close up. At first glance, the first thing I see is soft. It's out of focus. So the Lamborghini logo on the tire, spare tire cap is soft. This also soft, like the Raging Bull over here. The LM Trip Double 2 is soft. The only edge of focus that I have is this little slim panel line where the door connects. So instances like this, secret time, why are you trying to shoot this with such a shallow aperture? Shallow, shallow, shallow. And I'm going to look at your F, and it's saying that you shot this at f7, at f7 at ISO 64. Okay, so why ISO 64? Why ISO 64 and not ISO 200? Like, why ISO 64? Like ISO 200, and now you're not shooting at 1/25th of a second. You're shooting at 500th of a second. And you're not shooting at f7, you're shooting at f11. You're shooting at f16 because and also studio light. Why not bring a portable strobe and pop that strobe light on top of this outdoor picture? So let's have a look at some of this, and framing wise, you can see, let me just bring this down to a perfect double page spread. You can see you're a little close. I would like to have that truck framed on one side, although yes, you're framing the Lambo logo here. Yes, I'm able to see this. But the way that the truck is cut off on the gutter, when the magazine goes in like this, we're losing all of this. We're losing all of this, and the truck's not going to look like the whole truck anymore when this goes to print. So, and also it's out of focus. So I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised when I see here that this picture is out of focus. This is a soft picture, which means they've enlarged quite a bit. This picture, I think, is what we were trying to get. And also the brand of the truck, it's from the front. It's not from the back. It's like, I'd love to see this truck a little bit more from the side. There's not a lot on this truck, but if I do a little search, LM, Lambo, this, and then search images and see what's out there on this truck, there's not a lot of, if it's moving, which is here, it's in focus. It's tack sharp. So what I'm trying to get is we need to have this truck rocket sharp, because if not, it's not the level of quality needed. I've never seen this truck. It seems like this truck has existed for a while. So, there's so many points. Yes, you do see a couple of instances of this truck from the back. But I kind of want to see it like this. I feel like, Ian, you don't miss very often on the technical or on the focus, but this picture for me is a miss. This is an outtake. I know you have others, but this one is not at the level you need in order to add to your portfolio. The goal, and I've seen your work, and it's 11, 11, 11, 11. As soon as you put a 5 or a 7 or a 6 or a 10 or a 9, anything that goes below that absolute insanity is a nothing. It's a nothing. You can't include it. This is one of those pictures that creates doubt, and we're not trying to create any doubt with our content, and this is doing it. So this is a no for me. I would love to see some other edits. Your perfect client on Spec, Ian Martin shot Lamborghini. Well done, Ian. Thanks for submitting. This is Frank Tom. Frank says, hey, Carty and crew, for this week's Your Ideal Client on Spec assignment, I selected Powerbeats Pro 2 headphones by Dr. Dre. Never heard of him. The purpose of these images is to introduce the new Powerbeats Pro 2 headset, show potential buyers that the product is secure and comfortable during workouts and other physical activities. A reference JPEG is below my image. So I'm not sure if we have this reference image included. Shot off the R5 70-200 2.8, shot at 142, ISO 100, 200th of a second at 7.1. Shot indoors with two Profoto B10s with large umbrellas and diffuser, and a Westcott 24-inch beauty dish for highlights. This is Frank Tom. Let's get it on, Frank. Thanks for submitting. Frank, this is very good. This is very, very, very good. Let's look at this as a double. It's composed really well. The idea is really good. The framing's a little claustrophobic with how tight he is. how tight he is up here. Obviously, you're clipping him. How tight his arm exists up here. You're clipping his elbow. You're clipping the end of the weight. His arm is quite claustrophobic here to the end of the frame. It's quite close here. Our tolerances are really narrow when we're shooting double page spreads. Our tolerances are really narrow when we're shooting double page spreads. I like it though. I like the tone on tone. I like the black outfit, the weight, like the tattoos, his skin tone, the retouching is clean. The power beats are super, super tight and in focus. It's just like this picture just feels just a touch claustrophobic. And again, we lose, when our images go to print, we lose 1/4 inch. So if I draw the thickness of my pen width here, so we're going to lose that much around the whole image when it goes to print. So if you think, oops, that's a bad line. We'll do this one up here. If you think about that, oh, I go right there. If you think about that 1/4 inch that we're losing, and when I do it like this, now that like crop and that close to the edge, it becomes even closer, right? So we have to be hyper aware of our edges. And also when we shoot horizontal, there's no crop. When we shoot horizontal, horizontal is exactly 2 pages in a magazine. Exactly 2 pages in a magazine. So there's no cropping. You can't move it left or right, and you're going to get a trim all the way around. So all of that stuff, all of that in mind, still, I think that this is a fantastic picture. It's a fantastic picture. I'm giving you love here. This is a yes for me. This is a yes for me. Let me hide my grill. That's a yes for me, Frank Tom. That's a yes. Very well done. Very well done. Hey-o. Members only content coming up later this afternoon. We are doing the Portfolio Lab workshop where I get to hang out with you, get to see your actual smiling face, and answer any kind of questions that you might ask or want to know. By the way, you see this hat? This is from my shooter collection. I'm a Canadian, so we call photographers shooters. Oh, you're a shooter? Oh, yeah. How long have you been pro? Like, photographer is a shooter. Now, I'm in America, and half my viewers are American. In America, shooters, there's too many episodes of shooting happening in America that it ends in tragedy. So calling yourself a shooter, you guys naturally think of pow-pows, but I don't think of pow-pows when I'm talking about shooters. I'm thinking about photographers, us, click, click, us guys who use those things, those cameras over there. I'm thinking about those. Yeah, anyways, this is just giving you a little bit of another angle as to show you what the vibe here is for me behind the scenes. I got 2 4K monitors. This is a 27-inch, this is a 32-inch, and then iPad for stream control. Hello. iPad for stream control and light control also, and monitor to monitor my camera. I use the Elgato prompter. I have live chat right here, and then second camera over there. I use the Logitech MX Mini keys and the black trackpad, and then this is my stream control, which is the OC Stream Deck Go. And then my nice clock here that shows how many subscribers I have, and my socials. It's a little bit of behind the scenes. I like giving you guys a little bit of behind the scenes because you only ever see this shot, right? You don't really get to see what's here. And Gunru asks about, do I have affiliates for all of the gear? Well, you know, this isn't my first rodeo, mister. So if you go here and type command gear, you're gonna see my gear list, which is on stevecarty.com, which you should be able to see that. stevecarty.com/gear is There you go. That's how you find all of the things that I use to not only run my podcast, but run my business. Right here, stevecarty.com, up here where it says gear list, just click that. And then I have, all of my equipment, which from cameras, computer, lenses, grip, everything that I use to run my business is here. Everything, including all my lights, cameras, rigging, support, stands, modifiers, everything. Light meter. It's all there. All right, let's get into our next shooter. It is Gerard Danso. Hello, sir. This project, I decided to create something different for official crystal perfume brand and my model. Reference photo, please. This is shot with the 5D Mark III 50 millimeter, 1.8 STM lens, ISO 250 at a 250th of a second at f5. This is Gerard Danso. Gerard, thanks for submitting. So where you're missing here is the reference photo. Where's the reference photo? Where's the reference photo? The whole idea is your perfect client on Spec. So I'm looking at Nebras Candy. Obviously Gaia, a brand from Guyana or Ghana, I mean. Let's see here exactly what you said. So official crystal perfume brand. So I'm going to search to see if I can find official crystal perfume as a thing. For me, that sounds like a made up brand. Official crystal perfume. Okay. Official crystal perfume. It is in fact a thing. So looking at this brand, of all of the perfume brands to choose, I'm sure this is like a local brand because this isn't really something that I've heard of in North America. And it's not a high-end brand. It's not Dior. It's not Versace. It's not like, it looks like, it just looks like a knockoff brand that's trying to, So for me, when I'm now searching for official crystal perfume ads, there's none, because it's just people's displays like in their house or pictures on Facebook. Again, people's displays. This is too local and too small a brand for you to be fucking with. It's too small a brand because they're not like, let's look at the difference. Like, this is the best thing they have as advertising or marketing, and it's garbage. So do they have money to pay you to shoot advertising for them? And if they do, how are you going to shoot it? Well, you need to shoot it like, it needs to be shot like this. Like how like a luxury brand. And this isn't a luxury brand. It looks very much like a budget brand. It looks very much like a budget brand. And because it looks so much like a budget brand, do they have money to pay you? They don't even have money to advertise. So because of that, there's no references. Because there's no references, and then you're now shooting something with them and without a reference, and you're not even really using a reference of a known perfume brand, okay? Second thing, this girl's nails are busted. I need you to hear this and see the details that are necessary when you're using hands to promote a product. This nail looks like a piece of Lego stuck to her finger. This nail broken. This nail, like, do you see this nail broken? This nail, and then another nail back on here, and then this nail dirty. You see what I'm saying? But yet she is your hand model. She's your hand model. The product is like not wiped and all clean, which is, I see the oil from her hands all on this. And the package itself looks budget, because when you look at it closely, you can see the printing itself on the bottle is budget. So you picked the wrong thing. You picked the wrong person. And this girl's hands, again, the first thing that I do when I'm photographing anybody, I say, do this. And they're like, I'm like, I want to see your hands. I want to see your nails. I want to see how, like, what do your nails look like? Why? Because you're doing this in the photo. And this here, the whole picture is her hands. And as a photographer, I'm wondering how you miss this. How you miss this. How do you miss this? This, and this. How do you miss that? So it's because, again, when you're not thinking of product photography as like, this is what I do. I'm a product photographer. And like, when you're a product photographer, you have to be an insane person. You have to notice every single detail. For me, this is like, I'm a fashion photographer that's trying to shoot a product. Or I'm trying to be a fashion photographer shooting a product. So again, when you're like, I shouldn't see anything except for the hand holding the product. I shouldn't see her dress. I shouldn't see her face. I shouldn't see like any of this stuff. So this is a no, Gerard. And again, I want you to understand exactly why it's a no. Why it's a no. The product is low budget. Don't hang your business on a low budget product. Hang your business on a high budget product. I've talked about buying and returning. Now I'm going to show you Raymond Mayer. So if you want to look at inspiration for perfume photography on figure, look no further than Raymond Mayer. Look at her nails. Although they're not done, they're even. This girl, manicure. Like, this is what your competition is doing. This is what your competition is doing. Like, this is what product photography looks like. So if you're not looking at work like this when it comes to products, like if you're not looking at work like this when it comes to ideas for products, then you're making stuff that you think is cool, and rarely is that going to hit. Rarely is that going to hit because you're not looking at the right references. So if you're trying to shoot on figure, which is what you're doing, you need to look at what's happening with on figure. You need to look at what's happening in the industry, because if not, you're just going to be swinging and missing. So use the peer group and use Portfolio Lab and ask, this is my idea. What should I be looking at? Because you didn't ask anybody about this photo. You just made it. If you'd sent this into peer group, someone would have said, what's with the nails? So again, you have to be super, super, super detailed, because I don't miss anything, but I don't miss anything, but understand that like, if you're working for high frequency clients, they're also going to catch even more stuff than I do because it's their product. They're going to care about that stuff even more. That is Gerard Danso. Thanks for submitting, Gerard. All right. This is David Holmes. David says, this portrait was created at my clinic office featuring a young chiropractor building his business. I modeled it after University of Chicago's Medical Center Physician Directory. This is one of the largest and highest ranked hospitals in the Chicago area. 5D Mark III, 50mm 1.8, ISO 100, f5 at 200th of a second. Shot with a Godox V1 with an umbrella softbox. This is David Holmes. David. So it's very clean image, just showing you the reference photos. These are the reference type photos that you're doing here, like we have with this guy here who's in radiology, and this guy here, and this lady here. So the super simple, clean background. Looking at this picture, the first thing that I see is the expression that this lady is making. And is this a lady? I think it's a lady, or it's a man. No, it's a man. So the thing that I'm having a hard time with is this. Like, I feel like there's uncomfortableness in the mouth that makes this smile not believable. It's not believable. Like, it's like if you told a robot how to smile, they would go. Do you know what I mean? They're making their mouth do that shape, but it's not at all natural. At all natural. So that's your responsibility, David. It's your responsibility to get a natural smile. The light, everything else about this picture is bang, bang, bang. Yes, 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 yes. But look at this guy's smile. As cheesy as this picture is. Look at this guy's smile. Like, look at this guy's smile. Like, it's as natural as it. Look at this girl's smile. It's natural. But this doesn't feel natural at all. And for me, like, there's got to be another edit, and you have to be cueing them when you're shooting. You can't be robotic when you're taking pictures. If you're robotic, this is the kind of stuff that you get back from your subject. If a subject gave me this, I would literally put my camera down and be like, are we fake smiling right now? Is that what we're doing? And they'd be like, oh, sorry. Like, I'm just like, be like, hey, think of things that bring you joy. Think of your wife. Think of your kids. Think of the first time you hit a baseball. Like, think of something that's going to bring me something. Right now, I don't believe you. Convince me that you're happy to be here, you know? And then you get a real, authentic smile. So, again, I don't say dumb jokes or any of that kind of stuff. I literally just say, hey, are you happy to be here or what? Is like, do you understand what's going to happen after this photo shoot? You're either going to love this as an amazing experience or it's going to be a bad experience. And the bad experience side is not going to be because of me. It's going to be because of you, because you're holding on to something. What are you holding on to? Just be yourself. Just hang out with me. Like I break people down to their core, and whatever ism they have about photographers or having their photo taken or being in front of the camera, they need to get over it. Seriously, get over yourself. Get over yourself and stop giving me this. Like, I don't need that bullshit. We don't have to shoot this. Seriously. Like, especially when people are paying you and people aren't paying you. Like, bro, I'm doing this for free. Be happy about it. This is a $500 session. So, David, that's where you lost me, my guy. You lost this in the expression. Everything else is a yes. The light's great. The exposure's great. The focus is great. Everything else is a yes. It's a very competent picture, except the Except Dr. Christian looks like he's scared to death. He looks like he's scared to death. Like you're stabbing him or you have a gun to his head. You know what I mean? So like you have to shift your vibe so that's not a feeling. Yeah? That is David Holmes. Thanks for submitting, David. Yeah, I need more from the subject matter, and you guys have to, it's your responsibility. Oh, well, she wasn't giving me anything. It's like you weren't getting anything out of her. You weren't engaging enough. Like what, you were just standing there? You were just standing there saying, I'm just waiting for you to give me something. But I don't know what you want me to do. I'm new. Like, it's up to you to pull that out and talk them through it. That's our responsibility. I mean, and when we look at our own work, all we're trying to show is that level of comfort. And if you look at my flicks, if you see nothing else, look at how absolutely chill and absolutely right with me all of my subjects are. At any point, like, there is no uncomfortable mouth. There is no forced anything. Nothing is forced. Like, nothing is forced with my photography. And nothing can be forced with your photography. And that's how it actually feels, like real smiles. Real smiles. Do you think that there's anything artificial about this moment? Is there anything artificial about this moment? So this is our role as creators, as photographers, as Imagineers, as value creators. It's our role to bring the best out in people and make them insanely comfortable so they're able to just be. They're able to just be themselves. Yes, have a puff in my studio. You know, like, I let you be who you are. And that's kind of it's a bit of a gift. And David, it's the thing that you have to add to your photography. It's that magic. It goes beyond light, composition. It's that decisive moment when you know that, like, it hits. So that's what I want you to work on. That is Mr. David Holmes. David, thanks for submitting. I have the best Carty cartel. These guys moderate my live streams. And as you know, the live streams, they're open to subscribers. So all you need to do is hit the subscribe button and wait 5 minutes and you can chat with me. Hopefully everything's cool in chat. Guys, this is Charles Fortin. Charles says, I present to you the all fresh, brand new Black Diamond headlamp commercial. It features their Spot 400R headlamp being used in the field. Black Diamond is an outdoor gear brand that specializes in mountaineering equipment and camping gear for all seasons. A7IV 28-75, ISO 1250, 3.5 is the f at 1/60th of a second, natural light with a headlamp. And this is the image that he used for inspiration, which is on the Black Diamond website. Let's look at Charles Fortin. Charles. This is a vibe, Charles, for sure. Let's look at this as a double. Because you're shooting a human, I would have dropped him on this page. I would have dropped him on this page. And then headlamp lighting into this page. Because now you have the text here. He's now looking outside of our field of view. So we can't see what he's looking at. And he's lighting outside of our field of view. And anything that you put here feels like it's going to be talking about what's going on over here, which I can't see. So this is why you put him on this side of the frame, and then now he's looking that way, and we can now put the text here because we now see what he's looking at. So double page spreads, where you're looking should be into the magazine and not out of it. In this case, you're looking out of the book. And again, if you have him pushed on that side, he has to be making eye contact towards camera, or he has to be looking in that way. So, again, this is a good effort. It's like a close effort, but I'm not sure if this hits. I want to show your reference photo. And again, your reference photo is better than their square user-generated Instagram photo. Like a pro did not shoot this photo. This is just user-generated. Your photo is way better. Couple of things with the glasses, and then where his eyes have to track where his nose is, and which means his eyes would be a little bit more centered in the frame. But his eyes are looking a little bit that way, and therefore we're seeing too much of the color part of his eye, or the white part of his eye here. So it's tricky because he's also wearing glasses. Like for me with this one, I would have had him on this side and just positioned him a little bit and you over here a little bit, so he's looking kind of over your shoulder. You know what I mean? He's looking over your shoulder. You're getting a nice lens flare with the bright. This is close, Charles, but for me, not as good as you are. You're way better than this, and this is a photograph that would cause doubt for me in your portfolio based on the other work that you have. And if I go to Charles Fortin and I go to your website and I show you this, and I show you this because I know the type of shooter you are, and I'm scrolling this and this and this and this and this and then this, like, you see, it's not at your level, Charles. I'll say again, this and this and this and this, which is a guy skiing, by the way, if you're missing the details, and this, like this, and again, it's not the winter, summer, or the winter and then caving. It's like, number one, we do need more categories and not just winter stuff on your site. We need to mix in more adventure stuff and put it all in the same category. But just the level of this picture is not at the level of the photography that you do. Simple. So for that reason, this is why. You know what I mean? And by the way, for you watching at home, I judge photographers against themselves. That's it. I'm judging you against you. There's no other competition. So you're not competing against anyone else that submits. It's just you competing against yourself. And the reason that I'm able to critique Charles so harshly is because I know Charles and I know his work and I know what he can do. So whenever someone shoots 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, and what's an 11? 10 out of 10 is perfect. Great. We're looking for 11s, which is better than perfect. Pictures that make you go, fuck. Those kinds of pictures. Pictures like this that are niche specific, that make you say, holy shit. So this level of photography, and as I show you, Charles Fortin, who is in my accelerator program, he is following the Carty method. You can see this isn't a joke. How good Charles is. Like, he's exceptional, and I only take the most committed shooters. Say 150 people tried to get into my accelerator, and 10 got in this last round. Michael Steinmetz gave me $4.99. Michael, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate your donation and your love, as always, Mike. Thank you. And Mike, did you leave a comment here for me? Mike says, what's the aspect ratio for a double page spread? It is 2:3. That is the answer. It's 2:3. Actually, 3:2. That is the ratio of a double page spread. It's 3:2, which is how your camera is horizontally. Exactly. That is the ratio. It's 3:2. So 3 across, 2 down. That's 2 pages. And then that means that a single page is 1.5 by 2. So it's 1.5 across by 2. That's the proportion. Or double 1.5, make that 3, and double 2, make that 4. So it's 3:4 proportion. All right. I hope that helps you. So that's Charles Fortin. Charles, again, not as good as you are. Simple. This is Andy Phillips. Andy says, good day, Carty crew members. Today's project is aiming for a larger grocery retail chain like Loblaws, Metro, Kroger, and larger bakery franchises like Panera Breads located across North America. I see this image being used on billboards and not double page spreads because the images do not lay out over the center given space, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so reference photo shot with the Canon T5i 28mm f16 f16 4-second exposure ISO 400 with 2 Godox, one with a snoot from above, one with umbrella facing back, and then this is his reference photo to spark the idea, but just as a reference. Again, when we're trying to do a spec ad, it can't be a vague spec ad. Like, that's the thing that you really need to lock in. Like, this is for snackables, or this is for Beats by Dre, or this is for Apple AirPods, or this is for, like, it has to be for a specific brand. You're not going to send Adidas stuff to Nike. Well, it's general, it's sports related stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying, right? So, reference, what brand exactly are you trying to work for? What brand exactly? It can't just be bread. And don't try to talk yourself out of, like, or talk me into what your idea is, which is kind of what you're trying to do, Andy. Andy Phillips. This is strong, Andy. You're saying it wouldn't go across a double page spread. I'm saying that it doesn't go across a double page that poorly. It's okay if you had of oriented it just a little bit different and like spaced it out and pushed the butter pushed the butter this way in the frame and centered that butter so it's here, and then just took this bread off the cutting board and put it on the edge of the cutting board. So now we have slice of bread, slice of bread, slice of bread, and then you're now isolating the loaf a little bit on its own with this top-down light. The color balance is wrong, Andy. Like, that's the thing that I see first, is that this picture is very yellow. It's very yellow. If you look at this, which I'm imagining is like marbly gray, it looks very yellow. The bread in here, which is closer to white, the color in here, like, is this top-down? And are you shooting with your camera set to daylight? Is your white balance set to this? Or is it set to the light bulb? Like, that makes such a huge difference, because if you're shooting strobe, which I think you are, if you're shooting strobe, then your camera has to be balanced for daylight. And also, we're not getting a lot of light in here on the bread, which means the source that you're using here is a really small focused source that's only doing this, where you need more of a larger source so you can do this and light the whole thing, or a second source where you're also, I mean, to me, that's like double light, but essentially something that's lighting here, lighting the butter and lighting the bread, because the exposure here does not make that bread look appetizing. Like, the best exposure is what's happening down here on the cutting board. So it's about placing the light and getting it absolutely right so this makes sense. And Andy, like, you're so close here. Like, you're so close with the placement, but again, you're not using a reference. You're not using a reference, which means you're going out alone, which means you're going to do the best that you can on your own, but without looking at a specific reference and a specific client. Like, bread is too generic. So pick a bread company and shoot something specifically for them. And you're saying this was supposed to be this? Well, this is like baguette bread. This is croissants. And like, these are pastries. This is baguette bread. Like, these are pastries. Like, so and if this is your reference, this is nothing like this. Nothing like it at all. So which part of this reference? Just this upper photo here? This is also nothing like that. So, like, this is the thing about this. This is you moving your target. You're moving your target and you're making your target vague, which makes you think that because my target's vague, I'm for sure going to hit it, because my target is just bread. Okay, so what you're creating now is stock photography that doesn't actually fit to any one specific brand. It just fits under the category of bread, because you're not committing to a brand. You're not showing me a package. You're not showing me Wonder Bread or Dempster's bread or whatever your local bread maker is. Like, you're not showing me a specific bread. You're showing me bread. Well, that means it works for everybody, right? No, that means it works for nobody. It means it works for nobody except for a stock article that someone's just talking about bread in general or baking in general. You've made a general picture that doesn't fit into any box. Like, every bread company, they show like their bread. So if I look at Dempster's, like, which is a bread company, Dempster's bread. So if I look at Dempster's bread, right, and look at ads for Dempster's bread, you think they're going to want to show their package? Of course they are. They're going to show Dempster's. And it's going to be, I mean, this is absolute garbage, but this is what their ads are going to look like. It's going to be the bread in a package, so it has brand identity. Like, that's what we're missing. So any company that advertises bread is going to want to include their bread, the package. Like, they want everyone to know that this bread is Dempster's bread. This is some bullshit composite like something, but it's still showing you this is Dempster's bread. Now let's look at another bread company, Wonder Bread. They're going to do the same thing. They're going to use this is hardly bread, but they're going to use their dots. They're going to use their dots to basically speak. Somebody purchased the statement tee and one other item. Hey, thank you, whoever that somebody was. I appreciate you. Someone says, love your content, I'm assuming. Replay activity. There we go. Someone purchased photographer collection statement tee and one other item, but you didn't tell me who. Appreciate that for hanging out and purchasing. So again, this is what I'm trying to get here with you and this bread. It can't be this, Andy. It can't be this. It can't be this, which is really what you're doing. I mean, obviously way better. It's got to be specific. You have to decide. You have to decide what you're shooting. It can't just be the loaf of bread. If you're trying to shoot Spec, the idea is I'm shooting on speculation for one brand. And the stuff that you're doing speaks to that brand, not to all brands. I hope that helps. That is Andy Phillips, everybody. You know, I was thinking that your ideal client on Spec would hit harder. Honestly, I thought more people would submit. I thought more people would actually do the research necessary to make a Spec ad. Like, there is no mail-in, and if you don't have a reference, how are you going to shoot something that a brand's going to be like, yes to? How are you going to do that? Okay, this is Eric Hernandez. Eric says, for this week's assignment, I had a test shoot for a jewelry store, so it was a perfect opportunity for me to shoot Spec for them. I did a deep dive into the jewelry photography to prepare as much as possible for this shoot. This is my first attempt at shooting product on figure. I'd appreciate the feedback. R6, 100mm 2.8, ISO 100, f8, 1/25 of a second. One Flashpoint 600 in a 48-inch softbox, one Flashpoint 300 uplighting the background, and a white reflector. I used the brand's website for inspiration. Let's look at Eric. This is, and again, I did some one-on-one consultation for Eric to talk to him and talk him through this. And the way that this store does their photography. And also, he was also shooting models. So he kind of had to also show the model a little bit. I'm very interested to see what Mr. Eric Hernandez has done. Guys, this is Eric Hernandez. Thanks, Eric. This is a really good swing. This is a really good swing, Eric. Very good swing. Very good swing. Let's look at this as a cover. This holds up for me, Eric, and is within the brand sensibility. This is one of the best efforts today so far. This is very, very, very close. Let's look at let's look at some focus. Your focus is good. This, I mean, you really have to watch, because you can see when I start getting in deep into the focus, how we're not like 100% in focus. I want to see what F you shot at to make sure you weren't shooting too shallow. And looking here on the focus on this one, these balls you have very, very much in focus here. But not all of the bracelets are as tack as they could be. Now let's look at your readings. You're shooting with a 100mm macro, which I know that for sure. You're shooting at f8. F8 with a 100mm macro equals like f4 on a 50. You know what I mean? So it's not quite as deep focus as you think, obviously, because of what this looks like. So let's look at this again. How can you bring more exposure? How can you bring in more f-stop in here? Overall, the exposure is under by, like, I'd say 20%. Maybe I'd bump this by 20% increase in exposure. That's going to just pop up this just a little bit. It's going to pop up this shadow detail in here just a little bit. But again, the exposure is perfect. I just would pop it just a little bit. The light that's happening back here is really like the light that's happening behind him. You said like it's invisible. So that light needs to be a little bit brighter. I feel like the exposure on that rear light is not there. I see what that front light is doing because I'm seeing the highlight on these balls and I'm seeing the highlights here. So I know what that front light is doing and at the silver reflection. But your light's not really committed. It's just like you're kind of doing front light, you're kind of filling, you're kind of, you know. So again, I would love to see you a little bit more committed with your lighting, but overall this is a great effort. This is an 11 for me. This is really great, Eric. You did great. That's a yes for me. Very well done, Spec. Add. Whoo. Can we do this where we're like having a little vibe, having a little dream, having a little vibe, having a little dream? Never done that before. You guys are watching me live. You're seeing it here first, people. Hey, by the way, if you've never seen me before, in case you've never seen me before, this is me.
Treat everybody like a superstar. Famous people less like a superstar. I treat famous people like real people. I started as a photographer, I would say professionally, when I was 20. My brother's a fine art painter, heavy influence on me, and I couldn't paint, so when I discovered the camera, it was really easy for me to express myself creatively. Everybody's in the business of glorifying celebrities, so capturing them, it's already glorifying them by photographing them. So if I can get them a little bit more understated, I feel like it brings up the real. In 1997, I shot Tom York from Radiohead, most important picture of my career. In 2001, I shot Pharrell Williams for Peace magazine. Again, very important picture. Colin Firth, a week before he won his Oscar, career moving pictures where that picture propels a whole new wave of clients, a whole new wave of people looking at my work. I think pivotal career-changing pictures are more important than favorite pictures, because they're all my favorite. The whole idea is make good stuff and share it and do it every day.
Alrighty then, this is Chris Foster. Chris Foster says, hello Carty, hello crew. For my perfect client spec assignment, I didn't have my heart rate on today. You guys, for some reason, you like to know my heart rate when I'm streaming. Sometimes I like get upset because I'm passionate. Taylor, shut up. Just shut up. Just chill out. Sometimes I'm passionate. I get upset and I get amped up. And the members of this channel control my stream, so they can do all of these glitches. They can screenshot me. They can do all of these things. If you become a member, you also can join the party and glitch me, which is sometimes fun. And of course, yes, show my heart rate, which right now, I'm alive. I'm alive. By the way, if you're watching me live and you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. That stuff's free. And it definitely is a great marker for me to let me know how well I'm doing here on this channel. All right, let's get into Chris Foster. Chris says, hey, Carty and crew, for my perfect client spec assignment, I chose to shoot spec for Movado. Movado's a watch company. R5 with a 100 millimeter macro, ISO 100, f22, shot at half a second, one Godox AD600 for key with a 7-inch reflector, bounced off a white V-flat, one Godox 8200 for rim in a strip box placed above the watch, one reflector for fill. Shot on black acrylic. Chris, What's happening with you, my guy? What's going on with you, Chris? Shot on black acrylic with a black V-flat background. Inspiration from the following Movado image. Chris, it's almost like you listen. It's almost like you listen. Like every single thing that you did wrong last week seems like you did it right. Let's get it on. This is Chris Foster. Chris, you are getting there. You're getting there. There's some exposure that's missing on the underside of the watch. I want to see that horizon line. There is, what I would do is not do black and black. I would do gray here.
Yes, sir, yes.
Gray back here and black down here. Your light quality is now like way, way better, Chris. Way better. Exposure is where we're at right now. Like now it's exposure. I want exposure to be up by 20%, which is 2/10 of a stop. 2/10 of a stop. I now want you to dip away from the black because remember, they rarely do an all black, right? And look at your reference, right? Your reference isn't an all black. It's a gradient. Right? And if we look at Movado and look at some of their other stuff, it's like, it's not quite like, show me the black. Show me the all black. The all black. All black. Show me the all black. And you're going to find, well, it's not there. Well, again, why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? If your reference doesn't use jet black as a background for any of the photos. So intelligent imitation, again, Movado, not all of their advertising is good. Some of it is trash, to be honest. But this shot, this is what I would like to see you try to imitate, like that quality of light. And I want you to notice the exposure under here on the band here on, like I can't draw here for some reason, but here on the band and up here, and notice on this picture, the exposure on the band down here is under by, I'll call this 2/3 of a stop. And then the exposure up here on the band is perfect. So it means that the way that you're lighting this watch isn't getting enough light under here. It's not getting enough light under here. So what can we do to adjust? What can we do to adjust? Also, that reflective horizon line becomes, it's like you're using a black V-flat. Use the white side. Use the white side. Now we have a horizon line and it breaks up the background, and you can now work on shadows and light and that kind of stuff. So for me, you're trying to master this jet black picture. I see it. I understand why, but I also want you to notice that there aren't a lot of jet black watch-based advertising. So Movado watches. And now when you look at images, find, like, this is the only example of and that's a knockout. You know what I mean? So all these ones that you see on black, like, it's a knockout. They're just GIFs. So we're not seeing anything, like, this is the only image that's all black. And I'm willing to bet that they're just doing knockouts. Most of it is on a bit of a gradient. So you see this gradient, like, that's what you need to learn how to do. And I mean, this is the very classic Movado design. Like, I remember this ad from like the 80s. But when we're like, it's intelligent imitation. Like, we have to say watch ads, watches, advertisements. And then now, to me, this is what you need to be practicing. This is what you need to be practicing. Like this. This is on a texture. And again, it's a knockout. this is what you need to be practicing. So I'm looking at all watches, and I'm not really seeing that all black that you're talking about. And here's an Apple Watch. What's this one called? The Ultra, the Apple Watch Ultra. Here's another Apple Watch Ultra. Like, what about a modern watch? What about a smartwatch? What about an Apple Watch Ultra shot to black? Because this is the only thing that I've seen shot to black so far. And again, here it is shot to white. But that's a knockout. So, Chris, this is how deep we have to go when we're doing the research. I would love you to reshoot this just to at least nail the exposure. I'd love to see you reshoot this just to nail the exposure. From last week already, this has jumped up considerably. I also want to see how you're processing this image out to get this to be my size, because it still looks, it still looks a little digital. I want to make sure that you're not processing this to the native size and then upscaling it. Mike Steinmetz, can you help Chris with his exporting? I feel like he may be exporting to native size and then taking that JPEG and upsizing it and then submitting it. So there's something with his file that's not 100%. Your improvement from last week, Chris, is so monumental that you're getting an 11 for this picture, okay? This is like, you went from last week, I'll say you were on rung 2 of your ladder to 10, okay? This week, you went from rung 2 to rung 5. So now you're on rung 5. We're still a long way from rung 10, but holy shit, we're so far from rung 0 now. You know what I mean? So this is an iteration. This is iterations, and like, reshoot this picture today. Like, reshoot this picture today, flip the black V flat to the white side, and get more exposure underneath. Once you're using the white side, now that reflective surface won't read black, it'll read gray, because it'll have something white to kick off of, and it's going to kick up a little bit more exposure underneath. You were almost there, Chris. Almost there. Vibes is all we're trying to do here, which is vibes. You guys, if you want to join Portfolio Lab, you can join it right there. I'm pretty hard on you, so I don't know, you might not want to join. That's understandable. That's okay too. But the photographers who do join, let me show you Nick Johnson. Nick Johnson is one of my Portfolio Lab members, and he Nick Johnson, and Nick's been really working hard on his work, his website, his presentation, and so many of these he submitted to me for assignments. So this is what Portfolio Lab can do for you. This is Nick Johnson. Nick, this is sick. So great. So great. And you've added some new work, which is fantastic. Yeah, this is Nick. So it just shows you, like, when you stay with it. Nick started with me one-on-one coaching, and then I moved him into my professional accelerator and Portfolio Lab, and that's what we're doing right now with Nick. Pretty sick. Nick is excelling. He's doing very well. All right, guys, that was Mr. Chris Foster. Chris, thanks for submitting. This is our last photo of the day. Last photo. This is Michael Steinmetz. Mike says, Heart is a DIY brand sold at Walmart. They do not run many ads other than e-commerce. Their social media presence is almost exclusively user-generated. In the ads they do run, they tend towards home DIY projects with a lifestyle-ish feel. Ordinary people working on projects with heavy focus on the tool. I included a link to their Instagram. I've had some interaction with Heart Tools USA. They've liked and commented on my posts. R8 EF 100 millimeter. R8 is a camera. EF 100 millimeter is a 100 millimeter macro. Shot at ISO 100 f14 at 100th of a second. AD 200 with a 5-inch reflector at quarter power, about 2 feet from the subject. This is Heart Tools, their Instagram, and this is Mike Steinmetz. Mike, this is a yes for me. This is a yes. Like the small micro things, like how close the tool is down here at the bottom. You know how close that is, like, to cutting, missing the heart logo here on the hand. Yes, I know we're seeing it here, but this is a heart glove, and the heart drill bit. I feel like you could pull back literally 6 inches. So it gives me a little bit more space here, a little bit more space here, a little bit more space here, and also at the bottom, because you can see we're like cutting off the bottom of the frame here. But and also this little white area up here, the gap between the wood. Obviously now when we back up, we're going to see that next piece of wood, so we won't notice that gap as much. The light's great. It's a strong shadow, but still it looks believable. It doesn't really look lit, although it is. The lighting is good. This is a yes for me, Mike. I'm giving you an 11 on this one. Have a look at this as a cover. It's very strong as a cover. And the thing that's great about this picture is that it also works as an 8x10. It also works as an 8x10. I just need to slide this down here. So you can see this also works as an 8x10, works as an 8x10, which is what it's going to look like on Instagram. And of course, it works as a cover. This is a yes for me, Mike. This is a yes. This is a yes all day. You should be thrilled. That's a yes. Again, small mistakes. You're just a touch close. It's hard with the 100 millimeter macro because the focusing distance is so close. I love this lens. It's one of my favorites. But because you can go so close, sometimes you go in too close and you like lose the composition. So don't be afraid to like start looser with that lens and punch in and punch in and punch in and punch in. So, yes, all day, Taylor, and an 11 for Steinmetz. Well done, Mike. Well done. We've made it to the end of the photos for review. And your work is, by the way, better than the Heart Tools Instagram account. Like, this is garbage. Like, garbage. It's mostly reels. It's mostly reels, but it's garbage. Like, it's all user generated garbage. Like this, I'd create an offer for these guys. I'd create an offer because they need to have this type of higher end photography. I mean, this is higher end production. And you can see, like, they need a social media guy. Because this is garbage. All right, Mike, that should be one of your angles where you're really trying to go after this brand. You could definitely do way better for them than they're doing right now for themselves. All right, let's get into photos of the week. It's my favorite thing to talk about the best photos that were submitted today. Okay, we got it. Photos of the week, people. Make sure I get this name right. There you go. Starting. These are your photos of the week, by the way. Photo of the week. Courtney Turner. Congratulations, Courtney. Your first submission, first photo of the week. Very, very well done. Courtney Turner. Let's go. Courtney Turner. Let's get it on. Well done, buddy. Courtney Turner, first photo of the week. Oh, photos of the week are hard to give. They're hard to give, but I got another one. This one goes to This is Frank Tom. Photo of the week, Frank. Well done, buddy. Very well done. Very well done. I see you. I see you. I see exactly what you were trying to do. Very, very, very well done. We are looking through your perfect client on Spec. I just looked through the photo submitted, and now I am giving photos of the week. There's a few. Our next photo of the week goes to Eric Hernandez. Eric, that's a photo of the week, buddy. Congratulations. Eric Hernandez, photo of the week. Let's get it on. Well done, Eric. Well done. You with me still? How's my heart? See, make sure I'm alive still. Oh, I'm all right. All right, Carty crew. You ready for another photo of the week? Well, you're gosh darn right it's high quality content. I do my darndest. Again, I want you to know super hard on this shooter, but I grade you against yourself. I grade you against yourself. This isn't about me. This isn't about other photographers who are watching, other photographers who are submitting. This is UVU. UVU.com. Are you ready for your next photo of the week? Our next photo of the week goes to Chris Foster. Chris! Well done. Well done. Again, don't think I'm hard on you. Know that I'm helping you. Know that I'm helping you. We are on the road to rung 10. And this is very well done. Very well done. Nat, you know I'm missing a photo from you this week, eh? Nat, you know I'm missing a photo from you this week. And you know it's not like I forgot that you're on a consistency rule. So I'm watching. I'm watching. All right, let's get into... Oh, am I on a camera where you might see which one I could be picking next? Better change that. Gotta change that. And our final photo. Our final photo of the week. Our final photo of the week. Final one. Let's get into it. Mike Steinmetz. Mike, well done. Well done. Mike, I'm so proud of you, dude. Like, you shoot a very, very, very specific thing. You've been with me for a year. You are really starting to get your stride. I think you know when you hit and when you miss, which is beautiful. I think that you know when you hit and when you miss.
Yes, sir, yes.
Before you even submit. I think that you know that. I think also when you slow down and you really make something deliberate, and now that you have lights, now that you have this 100 millimeter macro, like, you're being more deliberate, which means it's all idea based. You know right away whether an idea is going to work or not. And I just want to see more of it. I just want to see more of it from you, Mike. I'm very proud of you guys. That is Mike Steinmetz. All right. Do we have a best in show? Do we have a best in show? Best in show on your perfect client on Spec? Yes, we do. We have one. Fuck. Best in show. Your perfect client on Spec. Fuck. I got two. I just got ruthless, guys. Sorry. I just got ruthless. Your first best in show. Frank Tom. Congratulations, Frank. That's a best in show for me. Very, 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 very well executed. Again, remember every single thing that I said. And there's one more. There's one more best in show that, like, has brought me joy. This photographer, his name, stop the drum roll, is Eric Hernandez. Eric, best in show for you, buddy. Very, 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 very well done. Very well done. Those two, for me, with no modifications, can go directly into the portfolio. And, you know, it's really hard on this photo, but it also deserves best in show. This is Courtney Turner. Courtney, best in show. Congratulations, buddy. It says a lot. It says a lot. It says a lot, and you should be thrilled. You guys at home, you two have been watching me since you were in your 20s. Like, holy moly. Do you ever get off the couch? Guys. So you want to know what your assignment is next week, of course. Your assignment next week is simple. Week 9 is this. I want a cover. I want a cover photo, okay? And this is the rule. You can't put a nothing picture on a cover, okay? You can't put a nothing picture on a cover. So I want you to create a magazine cover image that demands attention and demonstrates commercial intent, okay? This is not a nothing picture. And I'm going to tell you again, you're not going to be able to take a picture for a magazine cover. You're going to have to make a picture. Make a picture. So this is what you need to do, okay? I want you to create a magazine cover that demands attention and demonstrates commercial intent. It should be a hero image that balances artistic impact with practical design needs. I want you to be thinking about text, where the masthead goes, brand alignment, and visual hierarchy. Do not include the copy. That's not your job. You're a photographer. Do not put text on a photo. It's not your job, okay? But shoot a photo with a cover in mind. Have that cover in mind when you're shooting. This is why this matters, okay? A cover is the ultimate gift to a photographer. I've shot so many covers in my life, and there's nothing that gets me woody more than covers. Covers are this is like, there's nothing more powerful than covers. Well, billboards. I shoot plenty of billboards. CD covers. I shoot plenty of those as well. But magazine covers, movie posters, like those things that actually like create desire. Like when I shot for this magazine, I was in the UK shooting David Droga. David Droga did the Obama campaign. He owns an agency called Droga 5. When I was shooting David Droga, a gentleman walked up to me, said he was an editor for a magazine called Adformity, and he was wondering if I would be willing to shoot the cover and a multiple page article on David Droga for his book. And I'm like, for his magazine, I'm like, of course. And I asked him, like, what were the requirements? And he said, I'm not telling you anything. I've seen your book. That's all he said. I've seen your book. I'm not telling you anything. Just leave me a little space up here for my cover. That's all he said. So cover photography is something that you really need to understand how to shoot covers, because there's like, it's our language. Like there's so many opportunities to have your work shown in like on the thing that sells the magazine. Like covers are like it. Learn how to shoot them. And that is what this assignment is all about. It is how to shoot a cover. Yes, I shot Casey and JoJo's last album. It was called Emotional. I shot it in LA. and they drank a bottle of Remy each on set. Very hard guys to deal with, but I managed to deal with them. So let's get into the rest of this assignment, the rest of these assignment details. So this assignment's going to develop critical editorial skills, advertising skills, and it's going to help you think like an art director, which is super important. You're going to think like an art director. If you're a people shooter, I want you to shoot a portrait that tells a story, that completes a story in a single frame, like just whether it's intense emotion, a cultural context, professional identity. And I want you to leave clean negative space for the masthead. Look at covers. I want you to think of Time Magazine's Person of the Year, okay? If you shoot places, I want you to capture a location that embodies a strong theme. I want you to think about an environmental crisis, an urban energy, or natural wonder, decay, like something that is just like, whoa, that's a statement, okay? Make a statement. I want you to be using leading lines, composition to create natural text placement zones. If it's too busy a picture, text can't go on that cover. So you got to figure out a way to shoot it so it's not too textured or too busy, so there's room for text to go. And I want you to think about National Geographic's iconic landscape covers. Think Nat Geo, okay? I want you to think Architectural Digest. Think of Architectural Digest's insane covers if you shoot places, okay? If you shoot things, I want you to stage a product of the make a product the undisputed hero of the frame. Like, think Raymond Meyer, the way that he makes his products the hero. And I want you to create dimension through lighting while maintaining that text-friendly negative space. Be bold, think color. And I want you to think Apple. Think Apple's minimalist product launch visuals and how they would work for covers. Now, there's technical requirements. I want you to be thinking high contrast for people, places, or clean directional light for products. I don't want you to be thinking about flat lighting. I've been seeing a lot of bullshit lighting lately, like just nothing light, where light seems to come from everywhere. I'm seeing a lot of two lights from the front. One light from the front. There's only one sun. Use all your other lights for accents and rim and like gradients on the background. I want you to be thinking about ratios, lighting ratios. Compositionally, I want you to be using color and color contrast. Like, don't put black on black. Put white on black. Put red on black. Put yellow on black. So you can separate the subject from the background. So many of you don't think contrast, like glasses, black glasses on a dark face up with like big dark hair. Like we're losing contrast. And think about 20 to 30% negative space for typography or more. Think about showing scale. As far as your post-processing, if you're in Portfolio Lab, if you go into valuable resources, you will see the Carty method overlays. I have my magazine cover overlay, like when I show my overlay, that's there. You can download that and have that and test that in Photoshop over top of your picture to see what it looks like beforehand. Secret time, when you shoot in studio, you're using Capture One and you're shooting magazine cover, you can get the cover overlay from the magazine, and each picture that you take, it's shown with that cover overlay so you can get the composition exactly working with the masthead. So download my Carty method overlays. It includes the 4x5 like Instagram overlay. It includes the double page spread overlay, and it includes the cover overlay. And I want you to color grade, make the color balance match your publication style. Make sure it's neutral. I don't want to see yellow images or blue images unless they're intentionally made to feel warm or cold. And you do that like more with color grading than color balance, okay? And there's got to be sharp focus on storytelling. I want you to be telling a story. So these are key criteria. There should be instant communication. Number one, instant communication. Viewers understand the cover's theme in 1 second. They look, car magazine, sports magazine, like lifestyle magazine, like fashion magazine. Like they should know right away. So instant communication. There should be commercial polish. Like you can't be mailing it in with or not lighting or like, and again, if it's not lit, it's got to be perfect, like perfectly exposed. So it's got to have commercial polish and it's got to be design ready, meaning art directors could add text without at all ruining your images. So again, we are going to do portfolio workshop, which we do portfolio lab workshop on Tuesdays. Today, I need I had a workshop today already, starting from 11 in the morning with some founders. I belong to like a founders summit, which is a bunch of founders. So anyways, I was in my founders summit and it happened to coincide with podcast day. So we started an hour late today, but for you, what you should know is that this assignment is due Wednesday at midnight, Wednesday next week. You find all the details for the assignment inside Portfolio Lab, how to submit and all. And I think, what we're going to do, we're going to start our workshop at 3:15, 3:20. You guys can hang out in Zoom. I'm going to go live at 3:30 again. I'm going to go live at 3:30. It will be a members only live stream. So you guys, maybe I'll make it public. Who knows? I haven't decided yet. Maybe I'll make it public. Maybe I'll make it public just so you guys who are not inside of Portfolio Lab can see what these workshops. Would you guys like to see what it's like? If you would, just leave a comment and say, please, please, please keep it public so you can watch. Guys, I hope today brought you value. We'll see you in Portfolio Lab.
This commercial-free live stream was brought to you by the members of this channel. If it wasn't for you, we'd have to fill up these live streams with ads that would just interrupt the flow. The members of this channel make commercial-free content during these live streams possible. Consider becoming a member for $5 a month today to gain access to secret live streams, live chats, and to show your support with that crown badge next to your name. Sharing is caring. If this content has brought you value today, share it, clip it, post it to your socials. Curating and sharing helpful content makes you an expert, even if the content you're sharing isn't yours. Be a curator and share this content with your network. If you're an emerging or struggling photographer that's trying to break free from your current 9-to-5 grind and transition to the life of a working pro photographer, that's our obsession here at the Carty Method. Register, get the support you need. If you're alone and struggling at this craft, make sure you join the Carty Method community. You'll always find help in the show notes. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Find your creative and business genius with the Carty Method.
All right, I got lots of people freaking out, begging for me to go keep this public. I'm going to keep this live stream public. So we are going to go into Portfolio Lab, hang out in Zoom. But if you guys want to watch it on YouTube, come back when you get the alert. Thanks for watching.